Today, it's Friday. It has rained every single day. In fact, the roadway is so mudded up that we almost got stuck coming in, and I gotta be honest, I'm a little concerned with getting out of here. That being said, we have the machine fixed, temporarily at least. Yesterday, and I didn't take video of this, but yesterday I drove out all the way to hell out to Mandeville, because there's always been suggestions that I'm not as concerned about the machine as I think, because I'm not willing to take the time. So yesterday I picked up Pretty Girl, went directly out there, and got zero satisfaction. None. They said that, one, they don't have the part, it'll take 2 to 4 weeks to get the parts, and 2, I'm gonna have to pay for it, it's not gonna be under warranty. That's just not accurate, it's not acceptable. So let me explain what happened, and then I'll explain what happened this morning. Now if you take a look here, these handles, now I have them mounted on the outside. They were mounted on the inside, and they were over tightened. So what happens is, this ends up being about a centimeter difference in the span. When you pull it on the inside and then clamp it down super tight, you create a tension spot right here. All right, this tension spot is gonna have a problem, because once the motor starts running, the vibration of the motor, when the nuts are too tight, will create a resonance and it will break the handle. I did contact Bearcat and sent them the pictures and my explanation what I think happened. They contacted the people at Casco and said, yeah, you guys screwed up. You mounted the handles on the inside too tight. They called me this morning and said they're going to replace the part and for me to do what I need to get the machine running before then. So last night, on the way home, I missed Pretty Girl's PTA meeting because it took too damn long. Because I had already missed the PTA meeting, I stopped at a welding place, and the guy there welded this thing up for me, put a little bit of that rust protected primer on it, and this morning I moved the bolts. I moved the handles to the outside instead of being on the inside. We're going to keep an eye on it. We're going to need to use this machine for the next couple weeks, and hopefully we'll get the replacement handle quickly. Once we get the replacement handle, we don't have to worry about these welds holding. But for now, we're going to keep an eye on the welds. If any of them start to show signs of breaking, we're going to replace, we'll take it back, get it re-welded to make sure this machine doesn't break on us again before we get the new handles. I'm done with this machine nonsense. This saga with the broken machine is making me insane. I'm done with it. I'm only going to say one last thing, and then we're going to focus on getting our work done here. When I was at the store, they had the exact same machine that we have here, and that machine had none of the modifications needed to prevent the wheel from melting. And I find that very concerning. Before my wheel melted, they could theoretically say they didn't know there was an issue. All right? After the wheel melted, they tried to tell me it was my fault. And we've already addressed that. I've shown you the video from Bearcat. And I've shown you the service bulletin from Bearcat. So Bearcat knows there's a problem. They told them how to fix it. And they haven't fixed it. The thing that really bothers me is they know, absolutely know, now there's a problem with this machine. And they have machines they're selling to other people that they have not done the repairs to. So some other guy is going to buy that machine, have the wheel break, have the wheel melt, and they're going to try and say he's at fault and make him pay for the repairs. This is a problem, and this is something that has me very concerned about this company. The manager there knows for sure there's an issue with this machine and refuses to do the repairs, so the next guy coming in won't have that problem. I also have to wonder if they're going to remount the handlebars on that machine to the outside, because the handles on this machine were on the inside, the handles on the one there were on the inside. We'll see if they're going to fix that problem too, or if they're going to wait for it to break and then charge them for the parts to replace it. I really have to wonder about the ethics of this company if this is the way they do business. They know there's an issue with that machine and they refuse to fix it, and they're still selling it with the problem. That tells me they're trying to make money on service. And you know, not everybody, a lot of the farmers here are just farmers. They don't have the education that I have. They don't even know, they're not going to go through what I went through. They're going to think they did something wrong, and they're going to pay to get it fixed. Which is why that company did what they did to me. They thought that I'd just bend over and take it. And that has me very concerned about the ethics that this company uses. Which is why I'm never going to buy from them again. I don't see how I could. I don't see how I could ethically say, they know there's a problem with the machine. They haven't fixed it, and they're selling the machine knowing there's something wrong with it. What else do they know? How many other machines do they have that have a service problem that they won't fix? That when it breaks, they will then blame the person that bought it for the break and say they have to pay for the repairs. How many machines are like that in their shop? I know of one for sure, and where there's one, there's probably more. And that has me very, very concerned with the way this company does business. I don't need to say anything else. That's all there is to it. We're going to get back to work in this food forest. Now we have a bunch of this cord cut already, but I'm just going to take the rest of the cord we have, cut it up into lengths, so all he has to do is replace the cord when it drops. We have an issue here, and the issue is these tropical grasses are so invasive that they will destroy, they'll literally crowd out anything we plant here. And without being able to put a good thick wood chip layer down, unfortunately we just don't have enough wood chips for that. We need to find ways to get the grasses under control. We're starting right now by cutting them all down. Right on the outside of the aloe vera, we're going to start planting a row of lemongrass as kind of a barrier. So the grasses, the lemongrass is such a thick clumping grass that the grass can't get through it. So we're going to put a layer of lemongrass right down, create kind of a barrier here, and we're going to continue to knock this grass down to get it under control. We're also doing things like planting pumpkins, sweet potatoes, pineapples. We're planting into this area, so what we want to grow will grow. And hopefully the goal is for the stuff that we plant to smother out the grasses. It does help that we're laying down this heavy mulch layer around all the trees. Under this is a thick layer of cardboard, and then we took a couple bags of the grass that we collected, laid that down. Then we're going to take some of the wood chips we have and bury all the grass cuttings in wood chips. This will hopefully smother the grasses directly around this mulberry, give the mulberry a chance to really grow and get established. Now, on top of getting all the fruit trees established, we are growing the legumes. Right now our biggest legume is the pigeon pea. Here in Jamaica they call it gunga pea. And the gunga pea is a short-term shrub. It's not a tree, so to speak. We do have leguminous trees, but we've been coppicing those. We are going to get more. I want to get some moringas in here. We're going to get some leucaena cuttings. We're going to get some of the cuttings to get growing as well. And we want those to come up and help shade the area, which will give the fruit trees we've got in here an opportunity to get established. The ultimate goal is around every fruit tree to have a good layer of mulch, cardboard, and then heavy mulch on top of it. We brought a bunch of cardboard the other day. Unfortunately, it's way down. We need to bring all that cardboard back here. But around every tree, to try and keep the grasses under control. Then I'm going to take some Leucaena sticks or some moringa sticks. There's some moringa right here, in fact. We're going to take those and put them around these trees. We want them to get big enough to protect this. As they grow, they will put nitrogen in the soil. By putting nitrogen in the soil, it's going to be available for these plants. It'll also give some protection from the really, really harsh summer sun and help keep the grasses from taking over, because these grasses here can be really bad, and the tropical grasses are well known for being super invasive, and when they start taking over an area, if you don't have established trees to give some shade and protection, the grasses will literally kill everything. Now, this is what happened with the timber forest over on the other side. The grasses are these very invasive, clumping, heavy grasses. They take over, crowded out the trees, and killed a big section of trees. As soon as we have this section cleared, we're going to get over there and cut all that down again. There's serious advantages to this too. We are getting a lot of organic matter. The grasses over there are 6-7 feet tall. Think about how much organic matter we are getting when we cut that down. You don't burn this. Don't burn it. Here in Jamaica, it's a ridiculous... one of the things that they do here in Jamaica is they always burn everything. They clear a section, pile the grass up, burn it, and all that organic matter goes poof into the air as carbon dioxide. Total waste. Cut it. Lay it as mulch. Compost it, but don't burn it. Here's a prime example of something we need to be very careful of. In here we've got a cashew. It's a nice, healthy, it's the best looking cashew on the spot. And the grasses are now starting to take over. This cashew at the beginning had real problems because it was being chewed on by the goats. Once we got this fencing around it, it started to perk up. But now look at the grasses. The grasses are starting to get really invasive. So we need to get in here to get it under control again. See, now look at how good this cashew looks when we pull the grasses out. What we're going to do, once we get all these grasses under control, we're going to do the same thing. Cardboard, mulch, fence it back in. But we're going to try and do it with pallets. By putting 4 pallets around this, we'll get protection, and we'll actually get a bigger area of protection. Now here we've got some Leucaena. Leucaena is perhaps the most well-known tropical legume used in permaculture. These grow everywhere. They're nitrogen fixings. They grow from cuttings. They grow from seed. They grow fast. And they are perfect for coppicing. So right now we've got precipitation exceeding evaporation, therefore we're in a perfect position to coppice these. We're also going to replant these cuttings. We're going to take these cuttings and drive them into the ground as deep as we can and hope that they reroot to give us more protection for other areas of this food forest. Right here is a starfruit. This one is growing here in the protection of all these Leucaena. And look at how big and beautiful it is. It's right next to this guava, which is again big and beautiful, and it's got fruit everywhere. So these are doing really well. I'm going to show you another starfruit. This starfruit was planted the same day as the other one. It does not have the protection of the Leucaena. It's a little farther away from the swale, so it gets less water. And these grasses are starting to creep in and take over. What we're going to do is take some of the Leucaena cuttings and just stick them in the ground around this tree. Put probably 4 or 5 of them in the ground right here to get them to grow, to give us some protection, kind of act like a nursing mother, to help this tree get more appropriately established. This tree's been here for 1.5 years, and look at how small it is compared to the other one.